so this is the last night chapel service, and I got prizes again if you guys remember what we've been going over. Right? Oh boy, they're raising their hands all right already. All right, since you raised it, so give me one. Now there's 6 things. There was 5 things last night. 6 things. Give me one of the 6. You are
all sinners.
All sinners. Very good. Give me a hand. Give me another one. You are
a male or female.
A male or a female. Woo! All right. A boy. This guy really wants to do it. Okay. You are love. You are love. Very good. There's 3 more. Yes, little one.
We are new creations.
We are a new creation. Very good. That's the one you couldn't remember last night. All right, let's see. Little dude, okay? You know one?
You are created God.
By God. You are created by God. You do not have an ancestor that's a monkey. How insulting. All right, let's Andy. Last night. This is last night. Starts with a C.
Seed.
Seed. No. Okay. Right here. You are a conqueror. Very good. You are a conqueror. All right, so we're going to have another You Are tonight. Tonight's going to be a little different if you guys cooperate with me. Last night we had, the illustration and everything. We're going to be in Psalm 139. Psalm 139, verse 14. I want to not preach tonight. I want to talk to you. Like I would talk to my son or my daughter. And maybe we can get something out of this, because I see things and I hear things and they bother me, and I just have to get them out. Okay? So we're in Psalm 139. We might hit some other verses. We might go some other places. I don't know. We'll see how the night goes. But first of all, Psalm 139, verse 14. I will praise thee. This is David talking to God. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. This is a famous verse that gets misquoted and misused all the time. All right? People want to bring up this verse, and I'll ask them, what does it mean? And it means, they say, that I'm special. And that's not true. We're not special. We're God's special creation, but you're individually, you're not special. All right? The Bible warns us all the time not to think of ourselves better than anyone else. And people who think those things are people who will say, I'm special because I'm white. It's out there. Or I'm special because I'm black. Or I'm special because I'm a man. Women, it's out there. And that's not what this verse means at all. It says, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So tonight, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. But that doesn't mean you're special. We all go through heartache. We all have failure. We all have joy and happiness. We all have a hard life. Nobody has an easy life. Life has ups and downs and difficulties. We all do. And last night we talked about some of that. And I shared a little bit about what I went through. And I know some of you are going through some things too, because after chapel, I got to talk to some people. And they told me a little bit what they're going through. And then it really helped me, the talk did, because, you know, you start thinking about how horrible your childhood was, and you listen to some other people's, and you're like, wow, mine wasn't that bad. Guys, the Bible, I want to turn to the wonderful first. The Bible says, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And the wonderful part means is that God knew you thousands of years before you were even thought of by mom and dad. Before mom hears from the doctor, you're pregnant, you're going to have a baby, God knew you.
That's right.
He knew your name. He knew what school you were going to. He knew what friends you were going to have. Thousands of years, guys, He knew you were going to be here tonight listening to this. How wonderful is that? That's amazing, isn't it? I don't even know what I'm going to eat in 15 minutes. I just don't. Sometimes I think I know what's going to happen, and it never happens. But God knows you. It doesn't make you special. Guess what? God knows the guy next to you too. Knows everything about you. There are no secrets. You read the beginning of Psalm 139, and I encourage you to read it. You read the beginning of it, and David talks about how he cannot hide anywhere from God. And God knows every thought, and every pain, and every hurt. He knows what boy you're crushing on right now. Actually, I know some of you who you're crushing on too, because you talk about it all the time. I'm not going to mention Elijah's name at all. Just not. I don't want to embarrass Elijah at all. God knows who it is. Isn't that wonderful? Now, here's the comfort to that. If God knows me so well, when He gives a promise, right? Like, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. He knows you in spite of all the bad you've done. Says, I love you. It's wonderful. I know there are some people that I've hurt in this life, and they no longer want to be around me. They've rejected me. And some of them have every right to be. Some of them have every right. But God knows every mistake and every success. And I love you. Isn't it wonderful to know that no matter what happens, God still loves me, and He still knows me, and nothing gets Him by accident. It's not like this, okay? I think a lot of people think this is how God is, right? All of a sudden, Trayvon is playing basketball, and it's the last shot in the last second, and God calls over the angels and says, get some popcorn, this one's going to be good. Because He doesn't know what's going to happen, right? But God knows Trayvon's going to miss the shot. He knows it. No, I'm joking. He knows. And what a comfort that is, and how wonderful that is. So, let's get to the next verse. The next part of the verse. Fearfully. And that's where I really want to talk to you. Fearfully is a fancy way of saying respectfully. honorably. In other words, God took time when He made you to plan your life. And He planned respectfully and honorably your life. He took in account for everything. Everything. Say, Mike, you talked last night about how some of us don't have parents, or there's divorce, or, you know, my dad beats my mom, and He knew that, and He put me there. Listen, He knew that was going to happen. He knew what family you were going to be in. He knew what school you were going to be in, and who's going to be teasing you, or who's going to steal from you. And He knew that, and in respect and honorable, He created you, giving you every opportunity to overcome whatever happens to you. Mike, what do you mean? Listen to me, son and daughter. Some of you have horrible lives. I know you told me. God knew that 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, who knows, years ago. And He said, you know, this person's going to have a horrible time. I'm going to make sure they're at camp the week of July. And I'm going to make sure Michael, who's preaching, who's talking, will talk about this. And I'm going to make sure he says exactly what I need so I can overcome this, so I can get through this. Now, it's up to you whether you listen. And that's why when you go to church or you're in chapel, you shouldn't let anything distract you. You should put your phone up. You should stop talking to people, because you don't know what the pastor's saying that God put in his heart, put in his mind, just for you today. Nobody's here by accident. God planned this because He respects you and He honors you, and He wants to give you a way to fix or get through or have the strength to face what you need to face. Let's go back. Isn't that wonderful? That is so wonderful. God respects and honors you, and He gives you everything you need to survive and make it through this life, no matter how hard or terrible it is. You are created by God. And one of the things that bother me is we've been given our bodies by who? Who created our bodies?
God.
God. So why do you hate it? What do you mean I hate it? I got to lose 20 pounds. I just have to. What are you talking about? That's the body God gave you. Now, if you're overeating, that's something different. But if you're eating normal, and that's your body, it's the body God gave you. I wish I were taller. Boy, do I. If I were 6'7", I'd be in the NBA. So I think. I always wanted to be taller. When I was younger, they measured my hands and they said, you're going to be about 6'5". I'm like, yes, perfect size for point guard. I stopped growing. I used to play center in grade school. And then it went to forward, and then it went to guard, and then it went to bench. No. But why do you keep wishing you were something else when God gave you the body He gave you? He loves you. And He gave you the body that you have on purpose for a reason. And love it. Why do you hate your bodies that God has given you? Why do some of you, and some of you will be tempted, and some of you will see it, and some of you see it now at homes. Why do you take things and put it in a shot into your arms? Why do you snort things up your nose? Why do you smoke this glass pipe? And I'm not saying anything that you guys haven't seen. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Why do you hate your body so much that God has given you that you'll kill it like that? Why? And that's exactly what you're doing. You're destroying the body that God has given you. Had a guy at RU, I always have to go back to RU. Had a guy at RU, and he was a member of our church, and he just shows up. And I guess I don't know why, but I never noticed anything different about him. He was what they call a functioning addict. One night, him and 3 guys got some heroin, and then went and they shot up together. 2 of them woke up. And he says, Mike, it changes you when you have to walk over your friends' dead bodies. He realized all he was doing was ruining the body that God had given him. Don't worry about the body God given you. Some are tall, some are short, all for a reason. Some get to be basketball players. Somebody says, oh, I want to play basketball. That's what I want to do. You're no good at it. That's okay. You know, Bill keeps thinking he's good. I mean, Pastor Bill, we kidding, you know, we humor him. He's no good.
Let's play right now, Mike.
I'm not playing no foosball. But you have other God-given talents. Remember 1,000 years ago, he looked down and he said, Connor, I'm going to make you smart. Accept that. Listen to me. Accept it. That's who you are because God gave that to you. Some of you are going to be good at working on cars. If you are, come see me. I have a Volkswagen. It needs worked on all the time. I'm not. I'm just not. That's not what God gave me. I've accepted that. I'm not saying you can't go and improve your life. Go for it. But accept who you are because God made you that way on purpose. Quit trying to be someone else. Quit trying to be something you're not. Quit trying to look like the models in the magazines and on TV and act. You're not that. Not everybody can play like LeBron. I mean, LeBron calls me all the time and asks me if I can train him, and I'm busy. But not everybody plays like LeBron. That's okay. If you've got 5 LeBrons on the court, there's 4 of them you don't need. You understand? If everybody's the same and everybody does the same talents, we don't need all of them. And that's why everybody has different talents and different abilities. Love, this is going to sound like this philosophy, love who God has made you. And accept who you are. The Bible tells us that it's compared to this. Who's ever played with Play-Doh? Come on. I still play with Play-Doh. I like how it feels in my fingers. I like to spread it out and all that. Okay. Today you guys made stuff, right? Somebody made an awesome turtle. Who made the awesome turtle? She did, right? She made an awesome turtle. We'll go there. You guys made stuff out of clay today, right? She made an awesome turtle. What if that turtle stood up and said to her, why did you make me a turtle? I wanted to be a bird. Fix me and make me a bird. Who's in control of that?
God.
She is. She's what? The creator. And the turtle has no say, right? She could have painted it purple. And the turtle would say, why am I purple? I don't want to be purple. I want to be, green like the rest of the turtles. She's the creator. The Bible tells us that God is like a potter. And He molds us. And He's creating us to be exactly what He wants us to be. Because you guys are going to face different things and different situations in your life. And you need to have this shape. And you need to have this intelligence. And you need to have this ability. And you need to be able to do this. And the Bible says, what does the pot have to say to the guy who's shaping it? I don't want to be this. I don't want to be a cup. I don't want to be a plate. It has no say, does it? It should just accept who it is. Learn to love how God has made you. Success in life is to know who you are, what you can do, and do it. Did you hear me? Know who you are, know what you can do, and do it. Quit struggling and fighting to be something you're not. But I want to be a movie star. But I can't get in front of people. You're not a movie star. I don't know how many times people told me, I'll ask them, what do you want to do with your life? They're 14, 15. I want to play in the NBA. Sorry, dude, think of another dream. I've seen you play. I played with a guy. His name was Danny Thomas. Best player I ever saw in my entire life. I haven't seen anybody like him ever play, personally. Ever. Especially at camp. Especially in a Christian school. Never. Danny went and played college ball. He got in some trouble. He was writing checks he shouldn't have wrote. Stole them and wrote them. Got kicked out of college. Of course, he gets called by the San Antonio Spurs for a tryout. Danny's going to make it. Couldn't cut it. Tried again next year. He got a call. They said, come back. Let's give you another try. He didn't make it. Best player I ever saw in my life. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, most of you are not going to get to that point. Be who you are. It's okay to enjoy basketball. It's okay to have fun. But what are my talents? Who am I? And what do I have? This is how I talk to my kids all the time. And I'm telling you this too. My son came to me one time. I'm almost done, guys. I know I'm talking, but it's just stuff that I had. My son came to me one time and he was real scared. And usually he can just blurt out anything to me. He was really scared. And he came to me and he said, Dad, I need to talk to you. I said, uh-oh, what is it? Dad, I don't want to be a preacher. I said, okay. I said, really? I said, yeah. He goes, I thought you would want me to be. No, Jonathan. That's not up to me. All I want from you, Jonathan, is to be a good Christian, no matter what it is you do in life. If you work in the factory, guys, and you make automobile parts, be a good Christian. That's all I could ever ask of you. That's it. Read your Bible every day. Have your prayer time alone with God every day. Go to church as often as you can and do good works. Be a good Christian no matter what it is that you do. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God knows you. He knows your talents. He knows your abilities. He knows what situations you live in right now. He knows what stress, what pressure you're going under. He knows that people are trying to push you to sell drugs, and they try to get people about your age to start doing it on the street corners. Be careful. He knows what creepy guys are going to come around you guys. He knows that. You need to be aware. He knows it. And He sent you here tonight for me to tell you this right now, so you can have conquering, or you can go through this and overcome it. And so whatever you're going through, every head bowed, every eyes closed. Learn to love how God has made you and what He's given you. And maybe you've been going and struggling, and you want to be something different. You want to be taller, you want to be shorter, you want to be a better athlete, whatever it is. I'm encouraging you to get up here real soon, go back to your counselor, and start praying and asking God to use you and to use your abilities for Him, whatever they may be. And maybe you need to find out what they are, but go in the back and pray. And know that God honors and respects you, and He's prepared you for today. If you feel that way, get up right now and go back and talk to your counselor. Poor girls go through eating disorders. They want to try to be somebody they're not. They want to be like the girl they see in high school. That's not them. That's not them. You think you're struggling with that? Get up and go back to you, talk to your counselor. I had a cousin who died of that.
You have chosen me. Love how call my name. I've been born again to a family. Blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God.
tell people all along your life who's telling you, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Are you listening? God brought those people into your life for a reason.
You are around me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemy. Till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me.
All right, guys. Thank you. All righty. All right. Miss Lisa, do you want to come up here and explain about things tonight? I assume the bonfires are ready to go. Brother Dave's out there, correct? Dave went on out there. They got the bonfires going.
Okay, so we are having two
Listen up,
bonfires.
guys, girls. Listen.
So we are having two bonfires, and we have different girls, meaning district girls, and adults at each bonfire. This is the instructions that I've given my girls. So you need to. So when they say this to you, you have to listen. This is how it goes. Connor, come here. You're gonna be my. Since you're on the front row, that's what you did. Okay. So, and then Ryan, come here. Okay. Connor's a pretty big guy, all right? So my girls are going to hand you a stick for bonfire that has marshmallow on it, okay? Now, even though you are a big guy, you probably do that all by yourself, my girls are going to stand here next to you, okay? You guys just have a little chit-chat about how wonderful camp's been. But they're going to make sure that everything's safe. And you're gonna roast your marshmallow, you're going to blow it out if you get too much fire on it. They are going to take the marshmallow and help you and hand it to you, and then take the stick, and then you go back to your seat. Okay? So, I don't want any older girls or older guys to say, I don't need no help, I got this. Okay? Because my girls have been instructed to just be there in case you do. They're going to help you, whether you want it or not. They're just going to be there to take the stick from you, help you through this process so that we're all safe. If you are a smaller guy, and even though you may know what you're doing, my girls are going to help you out a little bit. They're really going to be there for you. Got it? And it's because you have a sharp instrument that has fire on it. It's very dangerous, and we want to make sure that you're all safe. Okay? So the last thing I want to hear is any attitude about, we don't need help, I don't need you to do that. So, no one's picking on